Hey guys, my name is Adeoluwa. I am from Nigeria and I live here in Regina, Saskatchewan. My genre of music is experimental Afrofusion. I started releasing music in Saskatchewan in 2019. That was the year when I moved here to Saskatchewan, and it's been a great experience. I've been very welcomed by the music community here. I've grown so much and learned so much more about how to package my songs, how to share them to different communities, and I think my favorite thing about releasing music in Saskatchewan is that all the artists are always supporting each other. So if I'm releasing something or someone is releasing something, it's a no-brainer that we're going to help each other share. And that sense of community has really helped me as an artist to grow in so many different ways. I produce my music mostly at my house, and most times it's very different for each song. There are songs where I have my producer friend come in and we kind of just go through different ideas that he has, and I find something that works for me. There are times when I make voice notes on my phone and I send them to him, but it's always collaborative, whether it's producing, whether it's writing the music itself. My friends here, my musician friends here, are always able to help me by adding from their wealth of knowledge to mine, and we're always able to create something that's always very collaborative, but also very beautiful because it takes different elements from our different sounds and experiences, and we make this collective piece of art. Well, I don't think of it as my Black identity, it's just my identity in general. It's very integral to everything I do. As much as my music is experimental and it's a fusion of different genres, I do believe that in terms of the rhythm, the percussion, it always stems back from who I am innately. And from Nigeria, from a tribe called Yoruba, and we're known for our percussion elements, our percussive elements, and I think that when you listen to my music, you can really feel that. And in terms of music, I think not just of audio or MP3s or waves, I think of performances. I think of the overall artistry, right? How I present, in terms of performance, how the flow of the performance goes if it's a concert, in terms of the costumes that I will be wearing, that my band will be wearing. Everything that I do basically stems from that integral identity, that innate person that I am from coming from Nigeria, from being a Black person. So I don't think of it as an identity that I have to think about to incorporate or element, but I think of it as just who I am, and everything I do, it flawlessly shows itself there. The hardest thing about being a Black artist in Saskatchewan, I'm not sure what that would be because, again, I moved to Saskatchewan in late 2019, and a couple of months after that, the world went into COVID, right? So I don't know what people would have considered to be hard about being a Black artist. I know what it's been hard to be an artist in general. And that's a universal thing where we have to figure out new ways to release music, new ways to promote music in this new world that we're living in, and the world keeps evolving every step of the way, even with social media and the streaming platforms, and even now there's spatial audio, there's different elements of artistry in this world that we live in now, and I'm not sure how much, for me anyways, in the province has to do with my being a Black person. So I don't really know what's hard about being a Black artist in Saskatchewan, but I will say that for me, again, I probably have a different experience than most people do because I do know a lot of Black musicians here, and whenever I meet and we talk and we communicate and connect, it's always about, oh, this is what I'm doing to move forward. I have this opportunity, I have that opportunity, and last year was even in the pandemic, I had a bunch of performance opportunities that I didn't think I would be able to get so soon. So, I don't know. I guess you have to ask someone who's been here longer. I think that for myself and a number of my other Black artist friends that are emerging right now, it's a very exciting time because I guess most people, when they think of the prairies or they think of Saskatchewan, they think of country music or a very specific aesthetic or a very specific type of way to make and market music. And I think that for us, just not even knowing that that was a thing that people thought of, just coming here and being like, we're just gonna do our own thing, being able to create and be a part of a new wave of emergent artists who are changing how people see the prairies and changing how people perceive music here is very exciting for me. And I think that's the best thing, because very rare in our lives, in 2022 of all times, where it seems like everything has been done before, do you get to be the first to do something? And that is an opportunity and privilege that I don't take for granted. I think that it would be nice to see more representation in different ways. I know, for example, this year we had the very first category of Best R&B and Sask Music Awards, and more things like that. There are other genres that, there are people that make other kinds of music here, and there are more of them, right? And the more we celebrate and represent those people, the more that other people who make that music will feel that they have the ability and the audacity to be able to share their music, because they will see themselves represented. So I'm hoping for more representations, not just in award spaces, but even in terms of opportunities, in terms of things that we've normally said, oh, this is what this means and this is what that means, and taking these terms and really critically evaluating and thinking, why are we saying this about whatever it is, whether it's a genre, whether it's a space, whether it's an identity thing. So I think more representation would be nice. And again, like I mentioned earlier, with the emerging crop of artists that are coming out of the province, it will be a thing that will naturally happen. I don't think something we have to really stress about, but with everything, intentionality is always a great thing to have. Top 5 Black artists I'm listening to right now. The first person, I guess, would be Adekunle Gold. Anyone that knows me knows that that's a very, very easy answer for me. I adore everything that he does. I just think he's just a great artist in general. I'm listening to also Toby Nwigwe, a super inspiring story of how he just, he's an independent artist like myself, and he has just really built this massive empire by himself with his family. The third person that I'm listening to right now, I would say Jonathan McReynolds. I just love everything about how he makes music, how easygoing he takes his social media presence. I'm a big fan of Jonathan McReynolds. Two more people. The fourth person I would say I'm listening to right now is, I'll give a shout out to my girl Melodina. She's a Saskatchewan artist, but I do listen to her like I don't know her, because I just find the way that she crafts melodies and the way she does layering to be so masterful, and there's just a level of expertise that whenever I watch her record, that I see, that I'm always just blown away by, and how effortless of course she always rehearses and practices, but she's just such a pro that I have to just stand. And I guess I'll give my last one to another fellow Saskatchewan artist, and I'll give that to Tova. Again, just much like Melodina, if I didn't know them, I would listen to their music all the time, which I do, because same with him is that he has an amazing ear for melodies and just crafting phrases and words. And in terms of production, I've been privileged to work with him on a couple of my songs, and just the way he approaches the lyrics, like why do we have this line here? Why are we saying so much in this phrase? Can we move this to the second verse? And just that very systematic way of approaching music, something that I adore, and I've learned so much just by working with him. So yeah, Adekunle Gold, Toby Nwigwe, I think I said Melodina, Tova. That's 4. Do I need one more? I think I need one more. I need one more? Okay, one more person. The last person I'm going to give it to is going to be King Sunny Ade, which is, he's a Nigerian legend, and so much of the strides that African and Nigerian artists are making today is thanks to him, because he did this a long time ago. And one thing I find remarkable about King Sunny Ade records is that if you listen to them now, they're mixed and mastered like they were mixed and mastered yesterday. These are songs made decades ago, but his ear for melodies and his ear for balance in terms of balancing music and mixing and mastering it stood the test of time. So whenever I listen to his music today, I'm like, this could have been made yesterday, because it's so excellent and so pure. So Adekunle Gold, Toby Nwigwe, Melodina Tova, and King Sunny Ade. I'm working on a musical project. It's going to take a while to get done because of how I've planned it and what I want to accomplish with it. But I'm excited for it because I get to work with so many different people and do so many different things. And anyone who knows me knows how I try to do different things with my music. I don't try to stay in the same box for too long. And this project is very reflective of that. But what's next for me right now is, this is very bold to say, but performances. What I want to do the most this year is just to do more performances. And I know obviously we live in a COVID world, so a lot of them might have to be pre-recorded or done in very creative and interesting ways. But I'm choosing not to see that as a burden or a problem. I'm choosing to see that as an experience that, this is not going to be our lives forever. So when I look back at 2022, I'll be like, yeah, it was the year where everyone was frustrated, but I was able to do this performance. I was able to connect with people this way, even though it might be virtual, but that's just a new challenge that I believe that I have the ability to conquer. Shout outs. Okay, I guess the first I would start with Sask Music, because this opportunity to share music and talk about Black artistry in the province is a huge privilege. So thank you so much for just allowing this to be a thing that happens, and a lot of people will learn from these in ways that will benefit us all greatly. And then my artist friends, of course, Zway, Tova, Melodina, Rookie, Pacific. I'm blanking right now. I'm gonna forget some people. But those people I've mentioned are people that I'm just very proud of what they're doing in the province right now, and I'm glad to be able to work with them. Also, I would like to shout out to E-Man. He's an amazing producer out of Saskatoon. And yeah, am I forgetting anyone? I think that's everyone I can remember right now. I know I'm forgetting some people, but I think, yeah, Zway, Tova, Rookie, Melodina, E-Man, they are all people that I look up to, and I'm just honored to be colleagues with.